Hello, this is Joe Buck here with all the latest Newcastle United transfer news for the Shields Gazette. Now, it's been a bit quiet in Newcastle so far. We're, 11 days into the January transfer window, and so far, no incomings or outgoings. It is expected that Newcastle will be busy as the window progresses. Whether that income, whether they sign any players is still yet to be known. We know the financial fair play restrictions that they've got to deal with. We've seen links with Calvin Phillips in recent times, David here, but they've cooled recently, and it's unlikely that Newcastle will do anything probably until the last few days of the window, I think. In terms of other incomings, Dominic Solanke has been linked with a move to Newcastle. Now, that's one where Newcastle do want to strengthen the attacking areas, but whether Solanke, as someone who's 26, will probably cost near £50 million, or certainly at least double what Bournemouth paid for him 5 years ago from Liverpool. That was £19 million. So expecting at least £50 million. Whether he's someone that they can get signed in this window is another issue. But I'd certainly want to watch, but I would be surprised if Newcastle would shell out that sums of money on a player like Solanke this window, especially. In some items, it could be different once they know the financial situation, and once that becomes clear what they can and can't spend. But right now, I think that move for Solanke might be a little bit unlikely. But stranger things have happened. We have seen Newcastle be busy in the January window, but the first thing they will want to do is they will want to get rid of some players off their books. Their wages to turnover ratio is really high, and they need to get some of them players off their books now. People like Jeff Hendrick, he's out of contract at the end of the season. He's likely to go then, but probably won't move on a permanent deal. He's currently on loan to Sheffield Wednesday, likely to stay there until the end of the campaign, despite not playing recently. But we've got a couple of other players out of contract at the end of the season. But there's still a few there who are currently on loan. Ryan Fraser, for example, he's currently on loan. He's still got another year left to go. So Southampton are interested in signing him on a permanent deal. But again, January window is always busy and always difficult to do work in. Whether he'll sign for Southampton permanently this month again is unlikely. I think the finances of that deal will be dependent on Southampton getting promoted to the Premier League. And we've recently seen that Isaac Hayden has been linked with a move to the Championship. Again, that'll be a loan deal. He's currently out at Standard Liège in Belgium, but that deal is expected to be cut short. We're just waiting on confirmation for that to happen. And then if that does happen, if he does return to England, then he will likely be sent out again on loan. There's 4 Championship clubs reportedly interested in him. Birmingham City, Plymouth Argyle, Blackburn Rovers and Sheffield Wednesday have all shown interest in him. So again, he'll be someone that the club will, there's no future in the first team, so he'll likely be allowed to leave. But again, it's a loan deal. Until Newcastle can get rid of these players on permanent transfers, they're really going to be hamstring what they can do in the transfer market, and that is financial fair play and their wages to turnover ratio. And that's the big issue for Newcastle at the minute. So it'll be interesting few weeks to see what movements happen. And as always, the January window, it's been been quiet across the board, but as we've always seen, if one move triggers another, and then the domino effect starts to fall. But right now for Newcastle, I think we'll probably see more outgoings and incomings in the next couple of days, in the next week, and then maybe that will ramp up towards the end of the window of a few more incomings and a few more solid deals getting done, as the club maybe see their injury crisis either. Hopefully, they're getting past that and they're getting some of the best players back. Joe Willock, Harvey Barnes, they're expected back by the end of the month. But of course, if there's any setbacks with them, the club might be forced to act in the market, and that might come at the end of the window. Now, the club's got Man City this weekend. That's a massive game. Before, they've got Aston Villa at the end of the month, and then obviously that FA Cup game against Fulham between then. So they've got a few big games on the pitch, and it's going to be a big month off the pitch as well. And of course, the best way you can stay up to date with all the latest Newcastle United transfer news and gossip is with the Shields Gazette.